The Lord is our shepherd, I shall not want. Him make an eye like down in a green pastures. Him leadeth I beside still water. Them. Him restoreth I soul. Him leadeth I in the path of righteousness for him name's sake. Yeah! Though I Rasta go walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I can't fear no evil. For thy rod and thy staff them comforted I and I. Unu prepared a table before I. In the presence of our enemy them. Unu anointed I head with no oil. The cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy I go follow I all the days of I veni. Me I go dwell in the house of the Lord God. Jah Kadama we groma bea tela Higzag beer Tana Istalina Bashante Shante 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 Kadama we groma be ha tela This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonamo, where we speak truth to power. And my name Black Rasta. Now, in every traditional African home, there is a black pot. And each time this black pot sits on the fire, there is something super sumptuous cooking. Ingredients of so many different types, shapes, and sizes. Aromas and even flavors. Put aside all their differences and relocate into the black pot where they are subjected to some good amount of eating. In the aftermath, they produce food. Sumptuous food. Palatable food. In all its nutritiousness. My brother, my sister, that is what we do right here. We bring different ideas together and then we find the right solution for our problems right here in Ghana and the whole of Africa. This is a fact-finding mission. This is a mission of patriotism, not politics. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonamo, and here we speak truth to power. Our numbers are scrolling on the screen. Please do business with us and remember, we are live on YouTube, also live on Facebook. Brother, my sister, follow us on Facebook and also follow us on YouTube. We are also on TikTok and our name is Black Empire Media. Every day we have very interesting content on all the social media platforms and even more. My name is Black Rasta and I want to say thank you so much for joining us, especially those of you in countries that make it quite uncomfortable for you to join us at this time. We want to say thank you so much. Today we have 5 very important issues to look at and we are not going to linger at all. Number 1, run it my youth. Now the very first story we are looking at is this. Joker Lance Minister tickles himself again. In the African context, when somebody tickles himself and laughs, it's making a mockery of himself. And this is what the worst Lance Minister in the history of Ghana is doing right now. His name is Samuel Abu Jinapo. That's him here. He's the worst Lance Minister this nation has ever had. In fact, this guy is a disgrace to our democracy and to our people. And I say it unequivocally. Now, during the reign of this guy here, GALAMSEY, it's acme. Illegal mining. Water has never been polluted to this magnitude in the history of our country until this man became the last minister. He is so docile, so impotent, like a dead penis. This guy here has made sure that our land and environment in this country would make no meaning. They have just a few more months to live. And their legacy will be a legacy of GALAMSEY, a legacy of foolishness, a legacy of nothingness. And I am angry. Now, for some reason, some people want to retain power. They claim they want to break the 8. They are not thinking about breaking the several diseases that are emanating from waterborne diseases because of the dirty galamsey that's going on. Party here, in other words, our political party needs money. So they unleash the youth onto our forests to destroy our flora and fauna in order to mine gold in small scales. My brother, my sister, his name is Samuel Abu Jinapo. Recently, he had an issue with his king, the Bawumia, and he banned him from coming to the area with any group of people because he had disrespected him and decided not to follow diplomacy. Well, he wore his thinking cap when he decided that he would go and beg. Several emissaries were sent to the Bawumia. At the end of the day, he forgave him and he came. I don't want to go too much into the details, but this is a guy who comes from the royal family and he should have known better. But no, he defied the powers of the Bawumia, and the Bawumia read that to be disrespectful and trying to bring problems in his area. My brother, my sister, Samuel Abu Jinapo. Hey, now the Galamsey issue is serious. Before I go into why I say this man is the biggest joker of a land minister we have ever had, somebody is saying something about Galamsey. And I need us to look at this very carefully. What is this guy saying about Galamsey? Watch this. Minerals Commission slams police over Galamsey fight. And the boss of the Minerals Commission is fighting the police of Ghana. The Minerals Commission has raised concerns over the perceived inaction of the police in combating illegal mining activity. Now, the commission claims that illegal mining is ongoing directly behind the Enyinam police station with no intervention from the security forces. It further emphasized that all forms of mining in water bodies are illegal, yet no arrests have been made by the police. Speaking before the Government Assurances Committee of Parliament on Monday, October 7, the Chief Executive Officer of the Minerals Commission, Martin Aisi, expressed his dissatisfaction with the situation, urging more proactive measures from the police to address the issue. That's it away. So Martin Aisi today said that the Minerals Commission must give out more licenses to galamseyers, or else, whatever be the case, they will continue with galamseying. Dash the photo of this man away and concentrate on me. Martin Aisi is saying that we have to legitimize galamsey, give licenses out, or else these galamseyers will still go out there to do illegal mining. And I had the opportunity to say that doesn't make sense. You don't legitimize crime, all because criminals will do crime anyway. That is why we have the security forces. Now, Martin Aisi is saying, listen, just behind the Enyinam police station, there is illegal criminality going on in the name of Galamsey. Yet the police has turned a deaf ear and a blind eye to this heinous crime of Galamsey. According to Martin Aisi, in Ghana, Galamsey or mining is not supposed to happen in water bodies. This is called alluvial mining. But the Enyinam police is sitting down there whilst this thing is happening in water bodies, and police people are not able to arrest anybody. What is the reason? Now the big question goes to the IGP. Your legacy is very important. What are you doing about Galamsey? If Akufo-Addo is so lame and impotent, he can't fight Galamsey, the police should be empowered to be able to go to the areas and make as many arrests as possible. Because at the end of the day, if the IGP doesn't do his work well, we'll call him a joker IGP, just like we are calling the lance minister joker lance minister. My brother, police is not arresting people. Listen attentively. The soldiers went there, and we heard a lot of the soldiers now collaborated with the galamseyers. They are protecting the galamseyers so that when they do the galamsey, they bring part of the money to them. So the most lucrative business in Ghana right now is galamseying. Police want to be posted to galamsey areas so they can make money. Soldiers want to be posted there. Now they don't even want to go to Lebanon. They want to go to galamsey fields so they can make money. Sadly, I heard somebody say something. He said his family used to call him from the village every time asking for money. Now that they've discovered gold in the area, all the youth are doing galamsey. They no longer call him to send money. And the last time he went to his village was last month. All the youth have built houses, big houses in the area. And he has become like a poor man all of a sudden. My brother, if you go to Tongo, police people, some of them, if they get a chance, they will resign from police and go and do galamsey. Teachers are resigning from schools. They are going there to do galamsey. My brother, my sister, you know what that means? Hey, you will build all those houses, but you will fall sick and sell those houses to cure your sickness, like some of them are treating themselves in America and England from the government right now. What does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? You do galamsey, make all the money, cut down all the cocoa trees and all that to go into galamsey. My brother, at the end of the day, dangerous diseases are hitting you. All the money you have made from the galamsey, you use all that to treat yourself and your family members, and you still need money because galamsey is dangerous. Let's think about that. Now that the police has failed in fighting galamsey, government has failed, soldier failed, everybody failed. The Joker Lance Minister is saying that now this is what he's going to do. Government to employ river guards. I'm glad he didn't say river gods, because all the gods have been poisoned by the galamsey pollution. They are all dead. Kofi is dead. Kwame is dead. River Pra God is dead. Antoine Yama is dead. Galamsey has killed all of them, all the gods in Ghana. None of them is alive, except in the areas where galamsey is not happening. Government to deploy river guards, navy to fight galamsey. That's Joker Lance Minister saying. Now, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Samuel Abu-Jinapor, has disclosed that the government will soon announce some major interventions it will deploy in its attempts to fight illegal mining, commonly called galamsey. Mr. Jinapor, in an interview with Bernard Avle on City Breakfast Show on City FM on Tuesday, October 8th, said that's today, that the government's meeting with organized labor on its planned October 10 strike was very productive and fruitful, and that the measures to curb the menace will commence with the repeal of the LI 2462, a legislative instrument that currently permits mining in forest reserves. We are so stupid in this country, we have to wait until we all are dying, massive deaths, before we start to think. Didn't you know that the so-called LI was going to cause the destruction of flora and fauna, and that we're all going to start dying? We have to wait till we start dying before we start thinking. What kind of a people are we? Consensus was reached that the government will take steps to repeal LI 2462 when Parliament resumed, and also ensure the expeditious trial of offenders. Be it as it may, the government took notice of the announcement of organized labor that went on yesterday, that's Monday. But there are some other interventions that we are working on, and they will be made known in the coming days. River guards and the Navy will be patrolling our river bodies with other interventions. Cut it off. So, now that soldiers have failed, police people have failed, they are going for the Navy. They are bringing Navy on the water bodies. A lot of the galamseyers are in the thick forests where there is no water. They have failed with the water, the non-water mining. Now they are going on the water body to be able to fight galamsey. You see why it is a joke? River guards are now going to patrol the rivers to stop galamsey. You couldn't beat the galamseyers on land. You sent helicopters around, you couldn't defeat them. Now you are going on the water to defeat them. Oh my God. Now the sad thing is this. What plans have they made to be sure that the same Navy people will not collaborate with these alluvial miners like the soldiers and the police did? Patriotism is lacking in this country. And I keep saying it. Until you take patriotism seriously, the burn of our nation will continue. And that is We don't love our country. As long as we don't love this country, forget it. Nothing good is going to happen. We will steal street lights. We will go ahead and steal culverts and so many other things like that. We steal electric poles, electric cables, steal everything and demean government efforts. My brother, my sister, if we were patriotic, we will never destroy the land. If we were patriotic and thought about the next generation, and if we were our brothers' keepers, our sisters' keepers, we will never go out there to destroy the land just because of some money that we are going to get. You shouldn't be selfish enough to go out there to look for your livelihood whilst many more people are dying from your activities. So, Joker Lance Minister, bring him here. My brother, Samuel Abu-Jinapo, you will go down in history as the worst lance minister this nation has ever had. Shame on you. In your regime, you couldn't stand strong and fight Galamsey. You went by it. An arrogant president and his vice. You followed them and you have destroyed the nation. The day you will die, the epitaph will be of gold. Your coffin will be made of gold from the Galamsey. It will take you to heaven, which is laced with gold from the Galamsey here. But the several people who died from the Galamsey, their blood will be on your hands. You and your dirty president. Dash him away. Wicked people. Next story, my youth. Why Bawumia should not be president. Wow. So why should Bawumia be president? Bawumia is a man who has told us more lies than Satan told Adam and Eve. Bawumia is the king of lies. This man here, in fact, he has disappointed Ghanaians to the point that when his image appears on TV, people want to shut down the TV. There was a time, everywhere he went, they hooted at him. Do you all remember? They hooted at him. Woo! Woo! My brother, this is Bawumia. Before he came into Ghanaian politics, he lived in oblivion. Nobody knew him. We're told there was an economic waste kid. We all clapped for him, especially that he was coming from the north, where not so many people have reached the level that he has reached. We clapped. He came in. He struggled to become the vice president. Even acceptance in his party was a problem. But Nana Akufo-Addo forced him in because of his intellect and at the same time his geopolitical location of origin. So what happened? He became the vice president, and all of a sudden, all those he was talking to nicely and taking ideas, he shut all of them down, and I was one of those. I was one of those. I used to talk to him on phone. I paid him a visit once in his house, and we're all looking at how the nation will develop. Kick this dirty government out and bring these guys in who will help us to be able to deal with the economy and deal with our people. The moment he became vice president, no, that was the ultimate. He closed the door to almost everybody and pulled in family and friends. My brother, this is the man. In his regime, as the economic waste kid, our nation has suffered the most economically. We have run to the IMF and the World Bank begging for money. In his regime, as the economic waste kid, my brother, Bawumia has inflicted on us more taxes than any government Ghana has ever had, with the help of his boss, Nana Akufo-Addo. Today, he's singing shaggies, it wasn't me. He was only a mate. For that matter, we should give him the opportunity to drive the car so that he can rule better. Everybody's dissociating himself from Nana Akufo-Addo. He has failed so abysmally. Nobody wants to be associated with Akufo-Addo. Today, even if your name contains Addo or Akufu, nobody wants to employ you. Today, if you go chasing a young girl to marry, and you have Akufu in your name, or Addo, to make it worse, if you have the double name, Akufo-Addo, nobody wants the daughter to marry. because of the abysmal performance, the arrogance of this president called Akufo-Addo. Today, there was a guy who went around on every radio station campaigning. He wanted to be the flag bearer of the NPP. He wanted to compete against Bawumia. And he said all sorts of things about Bawumia, his inaccuracies, his lies, his inabilities, and his incompetences. All of a sudden, the man has become a chameleon. He's supporting Bawumia because the party has chosen him. And he's singing a different language. Do you know who he is? Kwabena Ajepong. That's him. This man here used to host a sports program on GTV. We all watched him when we were younger. Oh my God. And he was such a delight to watch. Then he became a very, very, very important person in the NPP's politics. He followed Kufuor and the rest around. Then so many people perceived him to be very arrogant. In fact, on my radio show, I asked him if he knew that. He said yes, he knew it. But his own party turned its back on him and sent him away, claiming that he had gone to take some bribe from Mahama's brother, Ibrahim Mahama. And for that matter, according to them, he had betrayed the party. In fact, they suspended him for so many years. They just lifted the ban after he begged. And the ban is now out of his way. He wanted to be the flag bearer. He failed. Now, the man he spoke against, Bawumia, he is one of his team members, going around talking all the good things. So I wonder, politicians have no value. When they want the same post, they tear down each other, say a lot of damning things about each other. And then, when one of them is picked, they come together to support this person and negate every other thing they said about this person during the campaign. Comrade Japan is one of those. Run the story. Watch this first story. It says, Bawumia doesn't have to apologize for difficulty with exchange rates. Meanwhile, on my show, he said Bawumia was responsible and that Bawumia should be apologizing for this. Today, he says Bawumia doesn't have to. Senior advisor to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, listen, senior advisor, who a few weeks ago, during the campaign, and the road to the flag bearership, was tearing down Bawumia and calling him incompetent. All of a sudden, he's a senior advisor. Anyway, senior advisor to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Comrade Japan, believes that Dr. Bawumia does not need to apologize for the inability to arrest the city. He says the NPP flag bearer acknowledges the difficulty with the exchange rate. However, the efforts of the new patriotic party in other aspects of the economy must also be recognized. Comrade Japan made this known while speaking on Accra-based Channel 1 TV. Wow. It's important. But there are many things that we have done much better. So we are carrying our message to the people and it is resonating with them. Yes, we accept the difficulty of the exchange rate regime, but he doesn't need to apologize. The fact that you are not able to attain certain things doesn't mean you should apologize. Cut it off. So you see, the hypocrisy. If you promise the people that you arrest the dollar and that you would give the key to the IGP after locking the dollar up, and you couldn't do it, common sense of decency tells us that you must come and apologize. If you tell the people that you put your presidency on the line to fight GALAMSEY and you are unable to do it, should you not apologize to us and accept that you failed? But these arrogant people in power and their peers, they don't know what is called apology. They are so arrogant. It's one reason Bawumia should never be president. He's not ready to accept responsibility for his failures. He's not ready to accept responsibility for his lies. He's not ready to say that I have failed, but I'm going to try again. Such a man would be a dangerous president. Comrade Japan is still talking. He's still talking. This time around, you know what he's saying? He says, election 2024, Bawumia's track record proves his readiness to lead. Meanwhile, a few weeks ago, he said he would be a very bad leader and that he would be the best person to lead. Comrade Japan, senior campaign advisor to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has lauded the new Patriotic Party flag bearer for his remarkable leadership qualities and contributions to Ghana's development. Now, during an interview on Channel 1 TV's The Point of View, Japan underscored Dr. Bawumia's impressive track record at the Bank of Ghana, occupied with his 7-year tenure as vice president, coupled with his 7-year tenure as vice president, which he said reflects his capacity for strong, results-driven leadership. Japan highlighted Dr. Bawumia's innovative ideas and boundless energy, noting his unique ability to bridge the gap between Muslims and Christians by focusing on their common Ghanaian identity. He further urged party. We brought you in to come and deal with the economy. Now you are telling us about how you are bringing Muslims and Christians together. We will leave that to the Minister of Chieftaincy and Religion. We brought you in to come and deal with our city. We brought you in to deal with our economy. All of a sudden, somebody is saying, oh, he has a good track record at the which bank he did well, and as a vice president for 7 years, he did well, especially his unique ability to bring Muslims and Christians together. Go to the Zongos, he's losing all votes. What's his achievement? How do you tell me that he's been able to bring Muslims and Christians together when he's becoming overly unpopular in all Zongos in Ghana, where Muslims are? You can continue tickling yourself and laughing. I have told you, if Bawumia makes a mistake to win this election, I won't be in Ghana. I told you. My brother, I am fed up with this guy's lies and arrogance. Arrogance is not about raising your hands like a macho man that you're not and insulting people. Arrogance is when you promise and fail and you don't have the decency to come and apologize and say you will try again. Bawumia should not be president of this nation. We have had enough of his lies, enough of his incompetencies, enough of his inaccuracies. Even Comrade J said, anytime Bawumia listens to his own voice during the campaign 7 years ago and more, he feels embarrassed because he's been used as a pawn. Now the NPP has pushed him forward. A lot of NPP people, according to statistics, are not even going to vote at all because they are so disappointed in Bawumia and his boss. So if you say he's the best, how many of you, and I'll close on this, how many of you honestly would allow Bawumia to be president of their houses? Your own house. Bring Bawumia to be president, not Ghana. Will Comrade J allow Bawumia to be the president of his house? If the answer is yes, then push him on. If it is no, then we all will get to know that yes, if you don't allow him to be the president of your house, he should never ever be president of this country until he changes. It's the Blakk Pot, aka Koko, where we speak truth to power. And the studio here is quite hot today, but we are doing all we can. This is the Blakk Pot, aka Koko. When we return, we'll do more. Hey, send in your messages. Hey, whoa.
Blakk Pot, Coco Show. Skipper George.
Blackpot. Coco show.
This is the Black Pot, aka Coco Shoneman. Here we speak truth to power. All right. Next story and watch it. It says Mahama cars seized by Akufo-Addo. Today I read something that sounded so interesting. You know the actress that we love so much in Kumawood movies? A lot of people like her body shape. And most of the time she acts as a witch. Madam Awuni. Very pretty woman. And when you look at the body shape, this is a pretty African woman. She's an actress in Kumawood. We appreciate them. They keep a lot of our folks company and entertained. Christy Awuni. Is that her name? I am sure about the Awuni. But let's find out exactly what her name is and what she is saying. We're going to get a photograph of her whole body so you will see the prettiness of the African woman. Every weekend, she comes jogging in my area there, and all the young men and women, they come out as if they are also jogging. Hey, but what kind of jogging are you jogging that you are, you know? Yeah. NPP seized cars given to Christiana Awuni. So I was right about her name, Christy Awuni. Other creatives by Mahama. And this is Big Akwes. You know Big Akwes? He's the guy with the motorway that needs no maintenance. I love him. Big Akwes. Controversial as he is, Big Akwes is saying that Mahama gave some cars to Christiana Awuni and some other creatives. And when Akufo-Addo came into power, he seized all the cars. Shall we find out exactly what it is? Now, popular Kumawood actor, Big Akwes, has alleged that the car given to actress Christiana Awuni during former President John Dramani Mahama's tenure was seized by the NPP government. In an interview with Empress Gifty on You Cook, the actor, who has declared his support for the National Democratic Congress, NDC, stated that President Mahama covered 50% of the cost of the cars distributed to some members of the creative arts industry. He noted that even those not affiliated with the NDC received vehicles. In 2013, Mahama gave cars to many creatives, including Christiana Awuni and Michael Afrani. One day, while Christiana was in a car, NPP members approached her, claiming it belonged to Asong. And since she isn't an NPP member, they took it from her. He added, one thing that earned my respect for Mahama was that he paid for half the cost of the car and asked recipients to cover the remaining 50. However, when the NPP came into power, Akufo-Addo took the cars back. He added, Big Akwes declared his support for former President Mahama, describing him as the right candidate for Ghana. He emphasized that he supported the NDC not for personal gain. We have witnessed the good works of former President Mahama, and I have decided to support his campaign. I am not doing this for a position. I believe that if Mahama returns to power, he would help the creative arts industry, he stated. He also mentioned that actor Wayosi receives a monthly stipend of 2,000 Ghana cedis from Mahama after battling a serious health condition. Wayosi is one of the actors in this country who receives an allowance. Who receives, that should have been the right grammatical statement. An allowance from former President Mahama, he added. This is Wayosi. He's a diminutive actor. And according to Big Akwes, he fell ill. And from that time till now, every month he gets 2,000 Ghana cedis from President Mahama. So you see, Christiana Awuni, very bubbly, very hot. My brother, that is her. And it's interesting. Come here. Oh gosh. You see, I want to say something. Those cars Mahama gave to all those people, on what grounds did Nana Akufo-Addo seize the cars? Were they registered in the names of these actors? Did they have papers to that regard? I don't think anybody will go out and seize a car that is in your name. When Namwan came and gave cars to so many people, and then the cars were being seized left, right, and center, there were a couple of people who still had their cars because the cars were registered in their names. They had done due diligence by paying whatever honorarium that should have been paid for the cars. So if Big Quest claims that all the actors paid 50% of whatever money for the cars should have never been taken away from them if they had papers. Did they fight it in the court? Did they make it known? But what I know is that President Mahama could have given cars out to people like John Dumelo. Do we all remember the car he gave to John Dumelo, V8? It almost collapsed the acting career of John Dumelo. This is John Dumelo. There was a time John Dumelo was simply called V8. He's been able to fight the V8 to the point that nobody calls him V8 anymore. It almost collapsed his political career. What happened to John Dumelo's V8? It was given to him by President Mahama. It came out that it was one of the cars in the pool of cars at the presidency. So the president had no right to give these cars out. It's a government car. If you are giving a government car to a civilian, you must be able to register it properly at the DVLA in the name of the civilian, or else it still remains a government car. Let's not blame Akufo-Addo. John Dumelo was not able to present any papers to show that the car was in his name. Of course, if it was in his name, signed and sealed, there was no way the car could have been taken away from him. Rather, he tried to go and repaint the car, what we call spraying in Ghana, to deceive the people who were chasing him to get the car back. This has become important for one reason. When everybody is running after politicians for supporting them during the campaign, this is what happens. Everybody wants a pound of meat from the person. If you are not careful, you are done. Mahama probably saw the cars in the pool of cars at the presidency and told himself, hey, listen, there are so many cars here. We don't need a lot of them here. Why don't we give them out to our supporters? Which was wrong. Until somebody is able to come out and say, hey, me, I have the papers to show that I paid for this car. Mahama paid half. Shut up and return all the stolen cars. Today, if Nana Addo starts giving those cars out to party members and people who supported him, I'm sure if Mahama comes back, he's going to run after all of them and pull back the cars because they are stolen cars. They are not cars that belong to Nana Akufo-Addo. They belong to the state. Let's call a spade, or else this country will never move forward. So big request, if you are supporting Mahama because he gave you a stolen car, because if you take the car out of the presidency, it's not for Mahama, it's for the state. If due diligence is not done, that car is a stolen car. It's a stolen car. The fact that the president has given you a car doesn't mean that because he's the president, he cannot steal. No! If you go to the presidency to greet President Mahama or Akufo-Addo, and then he turns around and says, oh, this car has been in the pool for so long, nobody's using it. Take it home. You ask him for the papers of the car. Let the name be changed into your name. Let it be personalized so that it becomes yours legally. He must explain how come the nation's car has been diverted to an individual. You must give reasons. You can't just get up and start sharing Ghana's property. No, it's not done. It's wrong. So a big question is going around saying, oh, Nana Akufo-Addo came to seize all the cars Mahama gave us. Be good enough to also present papers. When Mahama paid 50%, we also paid 50%. This is the receipt, and then they gave us this paper. So every law court will give back the car to you. But you can't go around blowing hot air like this. And Mahama, let's be careful. You are becoming the next president. I have said this over and over. So many people have supported you to be president. You can't satisfy everybody. You can't give everybody something. The people supporting you, they should support you because they are supporting Ghana. They shouldn't support you because they want you to give them back something personally. If that happens, the expectations will be too much. Support because you want the nation to move forward. Don't support because you want to fill your pockets. Am I making sense? You think today if Nana Akufo-Addo calls me to come to the presidency and take a car, I'll go? Mimpe! Mimpe! He has done so much damage to the nation. I don't want anything from Nana Akufo-Addo. If Mahama becomes president and he invites me to come and take a car, I will have to find out why the car is going to be given to me. Why? Oh, we are giving you the car because it's a national award. We are giving you for patriotism. Mate, let the whole nation hear that. Mahama has given me a car for patriotism on behalf of the people of Ghana. Anytime I'm driving the car, you see me in your area, you clap. Mr. Patriotism, Mr. Patriotism. But don't do kululu. Na kukuru kukuru jaya. Kike kike no sube jaya. Na kukuru kukuru jaya. Kike kike no sube jaya. Kabima minkao. Politics in Ghana will not take us anywhere. It's the Black Fort, aka Kukushonomo, where we speak truth to power. Mr. Mahama, when you come into power, investigate everybody. Anybody who took a car from the presidency, anybody who took a bicycle or a motorbike, let's investigate and find out exactly. Was it done properly? Was it done wrongly? Let people suffer for stealing. When we return, we'll take your messages and we'll do more. Hey! Why? Why?
Blakk, Kokusho.
It's a Black Pot, aka Kukushono, and we have a few more minutes to go. Shall we look at the messages you have? Remember to share the broadcast. Yeah. Zacha Emmanuel, aka Governor, is all the way from Wusuta in the Volta region. He says, welcome, my lord. Ras Osaje Fuduabil. Tindando. Gomado. Zangtuhoran. Yimzorabil. He says, Woyoy. We are live. One boy says, we are live. Share the broadcast. Woyoy. Albert Ellis says, fire. Mahmoud Demba. Stupidity is knowing the truth, seeing the truth, but yet believing the lies. Greetings, Blakk Rasta. Welcome. We are glad to have you. Bless. To my darling, says, already seated, Blakk Rasta. Sufyan Suleimana, watching my godfather live. Wayoy! Gosway Jata says, come here! Wayoy! Tete Kingsley says, Blakk, I love you so much, and I love you, my brother. Yelmio Tuala. Yelmio Tuala. I like that name. He says, yeah, fire. Muhammad Banjaya one says, keep speaking truth to power. Legend. Now, when comes city, ne yelman, le yelbo, katete nasara demlezo. May God empower us to always speak the truth and also give us victory over our enemies. Allah save us. Come here. Run the story. Dash it away. Wayoy. Signed MC Scorpion. Tete Kingsley says, God bless you, Rasta. No Bob says, Comrade Japan is a clown. Kofi Azuma says, greeting to my brother Blakk Rasta on this blessed Tuesday. Love and respect. Do Abiliyin Zorbil. He says, louder, Godfather. Mami Bella says, here to listen to the truth. Say no to mental slavery. He says, so don't go. Conscious agbenemu ahosu. Conscious agbemenu ahosu. Conscious agbemenu ahosu. Agbemenu ahosu. Conscious agbemenu ahosu. He says, clap, 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 clap. Stanley Operate. I think I know this guy. His photograph looks like he's on the GALAMSEY side, something. Blakk, please, do you think there are ghosts in this country? Because all the rivers that have ghosts have been destroyed. So where are the ghosts in them? All the ghosts are dead, Mr. Opare. They are all dead. How can your ghosts live in this polluted water? After feeding them with so much appetite, when they get drunk and they sleep in this water, which is polluted, certainly they are all dead. Apart from the areas where GALAMSEY is not happening. It's sad. Next story, my youths. Black Stars coach downplays GALAMSEY menace. As for this guy, I've always known that he's not a patriotic guy. From when he started resigning from the Black Stars team. In fact, the Ghanaian president Nana Akufo-Addo had so much hopes in this man. And he told him, yeah, come and coach your country. He said, yeah, I will. But I have a contract with my German side. So I have one leg in Ghana and one leg in Germany. I'll come and support them. Then he came in, did whatever he did, went back, and then he decided to take on the team full time. This time round, he's the one handling the team full time. After he disrespectfully resigned from the team. And he's not performed too well since he returned. He's half German, half Ghanaian, or is it 95 German and 2% Ghanaian? I don't really know. But this brother is one of us here. You understand? He's the coach of the Black Stars. They asked him a simple question, and this was what he said. Let's deal with Sudan first, then GALAMSEY. Black Stars head coach Akufo-Addo has refused to be drawn into the raging public debate on the menace of illegal mining, infamously referred to as GALAMSEY, insisting the team has to focus first on a must-win Africa Cup of Nations double-header against Sudan. Answering questions from the media after announcing a 20-man squad, 25-man squad for the 2 matches on October 10 in Accra, and the return in Libya on October 15. The coach acknowledged the negative effects of illegal mining, but was quick to put to bed calls for national team players to take a stance against GALAMSEY during the upcoming international fixtures. We have a lot of issues already, to be honest. It's a very serious problem, but we have to do our jobs. Dash it away. Yes, we all have to do our job. As for me, I am an entertainer. So I just have to say what the people want to hear. And then after dancing, then later when we finish dancing, I can talk about GALAMSEY. What the coach is saying is that GALAMSEY is very bad and very dangerous. But as it stands now, the most important thing is to win a football match. That's what he's saying. Simple. Hey, GALAMSEY, it's very, very, very bad. Very, 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 very bad. It's very, very, very bad. It's very, 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 very bad. But for now, the most important thing is to win a match. Don't worry, coach. Go and win the match. Before you return, GALAMSEY would have killed all of us, and you see those who will meet you at the airport. Go, go, go. Go and win the match. Go and win the match. Misplace priorities. All the people are demanding is for the players to wear a jersey or even hold a certain placard. When they come on the pitch, say no to GALAMSEY. And that is too difficult. That is too difficult. He said, no, don't draw my players into this. We have to win the match first. Go and win the match. When you return, we would all be dead from GALAMSEY. And then you will see who will come and meet you at the airport for you to show the cap to. We have to be smart, brethren. Yeah, they're here and some are there fata. But they're here no GALAMSEY no na kuye. One ko share goal a enku obia. And one say ebe soon say yan share goal. Yan fa cap no. Enye first time near yan fa cap. And no no. But GALAMSEY kuwa. We sama na be sorry. Abeche players no on. So munko share goal. As some for bus stadium, I will bet my ball. But Peja will nice help us all kick but not some I actually night, but when I am awesome too. On a more serious note, my brethren, don't joke with this GALAMSEY thing. Somebody is waiting to finish his examination before he starts talking about GALAMSEY. Somebody is waiting to be promoted before he talks about GALAMSEY. Okay, you get the promotion. But we will see who we are going to be promoted over. They would have all been dead. Sometimes victory is so sweet when the multitudes are all alive and happy and will cheer you on and share in your victory. But when you win it, I remember, I like telling stories. Look, anytime I went to school and I went for a debate and won, I was so much in a hurry to return home and show the award to my father. My mother first, because my father was always out. So I'll be waiting patiently for my father to return home. And my mother would say, your son, he won a competition. This is the trophy. And everybody would be happy. He would call me, shake my hand, and give me something. Anytime I won an award, I was in a hurry to go home and show it. But when my mother passed on, I won some awards. I picked my phone. I was going to call my mother and say, hey, mommy. And I remembered that she was no more. Has it happened to you before? My mother's phone number is still on my phone. I can't delete it. When I try to delete it, it's like, oh, that's your mother. So I leave it there. When something interesting happens to me, the first person I want to call is my mother. I pick the phone and, oh, Chano, how about my dad? He's also gone. It's the same thing that will happen to the Black Stars. The people you want to bring the cap home and show so that they'll be happy and praise you and dance around you, do the jama around you, you come when they are all buried. GALAMSEY has finished them. Dash down. Next story. This is the last story, right? Duncan Williams talks down small tithes. Hallelujah. Now, the shirt I'm wearing comes from a nice gentleman. His name is Ire. Ire. I-R-I-E. It means happy. And he came up to me and said, Black Rasta, this will look good on you. And then he took my measurement and he brought me this. It's beautiful, isn't it? Yeah. Ire. Duncan Williams talks down small tithes. Duncan Williams is an archbishop, senior Pentecostal man. He brought Pentecostalism, charismatism right here in Ghana. I'm told he can speak in tongues for 1 year and will never stop and drink water. Powerful man. And when he speaks with that thunderous voice. When he shouts, Jesus, Jesus himself hears it in heaven. He said he was the one responsible for the CD stabilizing at a certain point. In fact, his wife said it. Let us be very, 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 very fair to this man. His wife said, when the CD stabilized, my husband was responsible. He had always been praying and always praying for the city to stabilize. He even stopped his church members from paying money in dollars and pounds. This is the man who receives most tithes in the whole of Ghana. Church tithes. Nobody receives tithes more than Archbishop Duncan Williams. Another man is, what's his name? Anakazo man. Anakazo. Blakk Mills. Blakk Mills, undoubtedly, arguably, has the largest number of churches, branches in the whole of Africa. True? True? He's Christ Embassy, right? Lighthouse. And Christ Embassy is who? He's a Nigerian, right? He also has so many different Chris. Yes, it's called Chris something. Yes. Chris Oyakilome. Yes. And then there's also Otabel. They have so many branches all over Africa. But I am told that Anakazo man, Blakk Mills, he has the largest number. True? The whole. Duncan Williams is a very powerful man. He brought charismatism here. He receives a lot of tithes. Maybe the only one who receives more tithes than him, maybe, is Blakk Mills. But he says that the tithes he receives cannot even pay for electricity. So stop doing pound, tuno. Me tithes, tithes no going to into electricity. We jai tuno. Run the story. Maybe I'm misquoting him. Ghana, and he says, your tithes and offerings can't even pay electricity bills. Archbishop Duncan Williams to his congregation. Hallelujah. The presiding Archbishop and General Overseer of the Action Chapel International Ministry, Nicholas Duncan Williams, has told his congregation that their tithes and offerings were inadequate to even settle the electricity bills of the church. In a sermon, the charismatic man of God categorically told his church members that he does not live on their tithe and offering, as he has many businesses, both local and international, that take care of him. I do so many things outside of preaching. When you look at me, don't think it is your tithing. Because when you talk about the tithing and offering, it doesn't even pay the electricity bill. It is just that I don't like talking about these things. I don't. So there are other businesses. I have investments, businesses here and there, home and abroad, by which I make money on my own way, in my own way. And I'm a serious tithe payer. I pay tithe more than all of you. I'm telling you. And I'm very consistent. Sometimes I fight my office. I tell them, have you removed the tithe? Then they say, don't go there with me. Then I say, don't go there with me. Make sure the tithe is set aside. pay to the account, and immediately send me a picture that you have paid it before I touch my money. I'm a very serious person when it comes to the things of God. Archbishop Duncan Williams slammed some men of God who see themselves too big to tithe. And there are preachers who don't tithe because they are too big to tithe. They don't tithe to anything, anybody. They become self-appointed fathers and men of God because they have come into success, power, wealth, and influence. They don't have the grace to honor the scriptures anymore. Dash it away. There's one thing I like about what he has said. He's saying that he has so many businesses and he has so many investments. So he does not depend on their tithes. But Archbishop Duncan Williams, with all respect, don't bite the hands that fed you. How did you start? Did you start by owning investments and big businesses home and abroad? Certainly not. You started humbly, small church, the small tithes they were bringing left, right, and center. You were able to grow. Then as you started growing through the church and the tithes, you were able to establish yourself into prominence. I'm sure there was a time tithes were very important to the building of the church. So today, let's not look at the tithes as so low and insignificant in terms of paying bills. Let's be careful. We must be very careful. At a time, the tithes were so important. You have to look at the tithe box and be sure that, oh, some money had come in so you could pay some electricity bills, some water, and some things like that. Today, you might not need it because you have come into the space of prominence and favor and eminence. Therefore, you have businesses. You have that. I'm glad he didn't say tithes are not important. He's saying that the tithes that he receives, they are not able to pay electricity bills of the church. When you start making your church feel that the tithe that they are paying to God is insignificant, a lot of people stop paying tithes. Let them understand that it is important that you pay I don't pay tithes. My bishop has chased me over and over to pay tithes. My spirit tells me that if I go out and see a sick person and I give money to his tithe, sometimes I go to the church and I give money to the church more than the tithe. I move by my spirit. I don't want anything that is enshrined. If you receive your money, 2% come and give, 10% come and give. Hey, if you walk here, jump with one leg 2 times before you end. No, I move with the spirit. So my bishop has been chasing me every time. Blakk, your tithe is important too. I said, the money I give to the church, the money I give out is more than the tithe. I said, no, but the tithe, the name is very important. I see that as religion. I'm still studying. Maybe a time will come when I will understand it properly. But when you make your congregation feel that the tithes are not even doing much, a lot of people who don't have so much faith will abstain from that. They will all look up to you to do everything. After all, you have investments and businesses. It's not the best. Tell them that this is how much tithes they have made. And this is how much electricity bills you are paying. Publish it. They themselves will see without you saying, your tithe cannot even pay electricity bills. Your tithe cannot even pay water bills. I have businesses and I have investments. What is your tithe to me? You think your tithe is feeding? That's arrogance. Publish the church's electricity bills and publish the tithes. When they go to the notice board and watch, hey, electricity bill, we are paying 2 billion. And then our tithes here is just 1 billion. Then they know that some money is coming from somewhere to match that without you having to say. touch not my anointed. So I won't touch the man of God. Bring his photo here. Man of God. Hallelujah. I hope you heard what I said with all love and respect. There's something called diplomacy in leadership. Nobody is too big to learn. Nobody is too big to learn. Even the Bible says God learns. When God said he was going to kill Hezekiah, what did King Hezekiah do? He went to the wall and prayed and told God, God, look at how much I've done for you. Have you forgotten? Please go back and check the notes. And God said, I've learned that now. You have done a lot. I almost forgot, but now you've refreshed my memory. I'll give you 15 years. He said, you kill Cain. I'll let them kill you. Cain said, hey, have you forgotten that I worship you? It's the same worship that made me fall out with you. It's nothing more. If you kill me now, who's going to worship you? The people who are going to kill me, they don't even believe in you. And God said, I've learned this. Okay. You won't die. You there, call. Call. And he put a sign, a mark, according to the Bible, on him, lest people might see him and kill him. Hallelujah. So please, let's not look down on the small tithes. It's the small tithes that become big. Let us encourage the people to pay their tithes. It's not easy for a man to give you 10% of his salary every month. It's not easy. And the men of God will tell you, no, it's not you who is giving God 10% to. God is actually giving you 90% and just keeping his 10%. You see the way it works? Can you see the logic? You are giving your 10% after going to struggle and break rocks and things. Then you go and give God 10%. The man of God says, hey, don't say that. The 10% again. Nyamina amount 90%. Nyamina amount 90%. And I'll cry 10%. They are both correct, depending on your level of faith. Let me not talk too much about the tithes. Touch not my anointed. Hallelujah. It's the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushonemon. Here we speak truth to power. Shall we look at the comments and we close on that? Kofi Azuma says, greetings to all brothers and sisters here. With much love on this blessed Tuesday. Tete Kingsley says, you are right. State property cannot be given out just like that. Thank you. Abena says, you must support because of good governance, not to get something. You must love your country. That's correct. Kojo, Nana Kojo, cash out, says more fire. Alaji, says, good evening, Black Rasta. Watching you live. May God save Ghana for this 419 and GALAMSEY government. Yes, amen. Alaji bin Yurubu Shalisa Volugu. Kofi Azuma says, make sure you are watching this live stream right now. Click on the like button and subscribe and donate to this channel. Hallelujah. And he says, make sure that you have shared this live streaming to all your friends and family members to come and watch and listen to the truth from Black Rasta. And he says, everyone watching this live stream now must click on the like button right now. JDSGHS Black, may God continue to watch your back. More fire. Summit Starboy says, Akufo-Addo only took the cars because he hated anything Mahama, not because he wanted to recover state properties. In fact, he's sharing state lands. Okay. Even if that was his mind. The cars, were they properly registered? If they were, then it's wrong. The people can take it up. It's sharing state lands. Yes, we all know. But we are not looking at equalization. We are looking at what is good for Ghana. What is good for Ghana is not sharing cars that don't belong to you. What is good for Ghana is not sharing lands. So if we keep saying, Mahama did this, but this man is doing that, we are not doing our country any good. Let's condemn the act of sharing cars that don't belong to you, sharing land that does not belong to you. You're a thief. Alajibu Yorubu social available says, Woyo. Somda Olivia says, why is he not praying again for the stabilization of the dollar? Is he part of the problem? He's watching. He would see your comment. Abubakar Sadiq Ishaka says, I hope Bawumia needs Agrada's prayers. Richard Klo Megan says, more fire. Sharifa Raik says, Abubakar Sadiq Ishaka says, I am in a dangerous place right now, out in Ghana, because of Akufo-Addo. He says it's a dangerous place. For all you know, he's in Croatia or Russia. They are shooting all over the place. All right? Are we done? Dua Billions of says, no, say no to Baolaya because it's very unfit to be president. I agree with you. Isa Bilal says, even Blakk Rasta. Evening, Blakk Rasta. Good evening, sir. Abanga Abdullah says, why come here? You think so you day wise? Really, it has come to my notice that some of our young men still do their campaign as the old generation leaders. It is a shame to campaign based on political, economic, and religious lines, which I think is a shame to us all. Yeah, you are right. And we've been condemning that on this show. We keep condemning that. Yes, until things change. Paglia Emmanuel says, voice of the patriot. Why? Isabella says, you are speaking wisely. Isaac Donko says, Ghana. Simon and Gigi, the Black Pot. Why? Alajibu Yurubu Shalisha Volubu says, good evening, Blakk Rasta. Watching you live, my great. My greetings to Director General Alaji Yukom. All right. My name is Blakk Rasta, and I want to say thank you so much. I appreciate you and I love you. Thank you for joining me. I remember to tell many more people about this wonderful channel. It's called the Black Empire Media. By next year, we're going to have a full-blown TV station and a radio station, and you would have been the pioneers. Our numbers are rolling on the screen. Yes, let us advertise your business so we can make some small money to pay electricity bills.